back to Cindy's library. This is Cindy, and today I am going to talk about what I finished up this past week. So, let's get to it then. So, first of all, 3-day weekend, and I got through this in that time. Arrangement and Describing Archives and Manuscripts by Kathleen D. Rowe. So, yep, very important subject for archives. Perhaps not the most exciting of reading, but that's okay. That's not why I am doing this. And I also read The Extraordinary Adventures of Arsène Lupin by Maurice Leblanc. So, the original is in French. I read it in English. I have attempted to read a few things in French before, but that is not really my forte. But Arsène Lupin, he is a gentleman thief. He may be the first one, at least of this type. He will be perfectly polite. He will never go after poor people. He abhors violence of any kind and anything like unto it. And he has a code of honor. But if you are rich and you have something that he wants, he will steal you blind. So this is the first book in the series. I believe there's about 24 books that Maurice Leblanc wrote about Arsène Lupin. And so look forward to reading some others. I can recommend it. It's very fun. If you want Sherlock Holmes opposite in number. And I'm not talking about Moriarty when I say that. Let's see. Yes, I also read Bel Lamington and Fletcher's End by D.E. Stevenson. A duology about Bel Lamington. Oh, she's had a bit of a rough life. Both her parents died when she was still fairly young. Her aunt took care of her. Now her aunt's died. So she went to secretary school and has landed a place in London. But as she puts it, she's rather a square peg trying to go into a round hole there since she's used to the country. And she has a bit of trouble making friends at first since she's rather on the quiet and shy side. But of course she does end up making friends, and well, it's a D.E. Stevenson story, so of course things work out in the end, but getting there is the fun part, of course. And I have to say, this is D.E. Stevenson back on form for me. This is the type of D.E. story, D.E. Stevenson story that I love. So wonderful. Of course, a touch of romance. So, let's see. Just got this Bunker Hill, A City, a Siege, and a Revolution by Nathaniel Philbrick. Excited to read this. Actually, I did read the introduction and I'm already in love, so I hope that continues. So, I've read a fair amount about the Second Continental Congress and things like that. But this talks more about Boston and Bunker Hill and what was going on there while all the delegates were meeting in Philadelphia. So, like I said, I am excited. Perfect year to read it too. So, I also have made some decent progress in Death at the President's Lodging by Michael Eames. This is an Inspector Appleby mystery. So, this is St. Anthony's College. This is a pretend college. Might even be a pretend university. And the president of the college, they discover, has been murdered. So they call down to London and they send Inspector Appleby to take on the case. The thing is, at least at first glance, this looks rather like a locked room mystery because the president's lodging, you could only access it by 3 doors and you needed a key for any of those doors. They just replaced the keys and there are only 10 copies of the key. So, whoever did this must be a key owner or they somehow managed to get their hands on a key. We'll have to see which it is and any further developments. We've only just started scratching the surface. We have the stage set. We have briefly met all the major players that we know about at this point, but there's a long way to go before this mystery is solved, I am sure. Made some decent progress here. Letters between John and Abigail Adams. So interesting. They have such wonderful written voices to each other. Well, we just got to the point where Abigail is telling him about the British leaving Boston. Yeah, I forget the name of the hill. But after Henry Knox brought back a bunch of cannon from Ticonderoga, probably saying that wrong, Ticonderoga, they basically got the cannons up on that hill within one night, which means the Americans now fired down on Boston. The British were not very keen on that idea. So that is basically why they left Boston. And let's see, the next one is 12th of April, 1776. July 4th is coming up. A lot to happen between now and then. Been loving reading that. Also been listening to The Antiquary by Sir Walter Scott. I think I told you a bit about this, but well, what else can I say? This is a slow novel, and even for Scott, I think it's on the slower side, not as fast-paced as something like Rob Roy or Ivanhoe or The Talisman. Plenty of discussions about antiquaries and the proper way of doing them and various authorities. Although we have had some exciting things happen. Well, I guess I shouldn't say too much, but we have had some exciting things happen in between all of that, and we potentially have a budding romance too, of course. So glad I am reading that one. Not sure what else I will get up to next week, but here's hoping for a good week. Oh, hope your reading has been going just as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. I truly do appreciate it. Love to hear what you're reading down below if you're taking part in anything. I'm reading The Antiquary by Sir Walter Scott for Feb Regency, since Sir Walter Scott definitely wrote during the Regency, at least in part. So I think that counts. And Pretty sure there's some other things going on too, but that's the one I'm most conversant with. But again, thank you so much for stopping by. Truly do appreciate it. So until next time, I hope we all stay safe and healthy. And as always, happy reading.